Good day to you all. Today I have a question for all of you out there. Have any of you ever wondered what those government vehicles are like? Why they are seldom seen in the public? Or who the drivers of those vehicles are and what they are like? Well, today I have a story to tell you about a man who drives his son in one of this kind of vehicles. This is Alfredo. He is a single parent and works for the government as an escort driver for a government affiliated VIP. He drives this government official service vehicle, which he was assigned to. He does not personally own but has access to it 24/7. Having access to the vehicle, he uses it in another way in his free time.
Come along now, Alberto. Still got a long way to go until we reach your school.
Okay pa, I just need to pack my box and notebooks. I'll be ready in a bit.
Alright, just make sure you have everything you need. I'll be waiting for you in the car.
As you have witnessed, Alfredo also uses the vehicle to drive his son to school. But allow me to shed in some light into this, so you have a much clearer view to this situation. Let me explain. Alfredo does not actually own any vehicle, so he resorts using the official service vehicle. But that is not the only reason. You see, the route that Alberto has to go through every day has one certain neighborhood, which the crime rate is high and is considered to be very dangerous for a student to go through alone.
Alright pa, I'm ready to go to school now. Do we really need to go through that neighborhood all the time?
Well, there's a longer route around, but that will cost us about half an hour of driving, which might make you arrive late. I've considered to take alternate routes before, but all of them take a much longer time than just using that road through that neighborhood.
Alright then. It's because I want to go to school with my friends in the bus, that's all. Like everyone else in my class does.
Oh, well, Alberto, I would like that to happen, but that bus comes around very early around our neighborhood. Usually, around the time, you're still asleep, so it'd be quite a change for you. Also, that's the best route to reach that neighborhood. I'm not letting you near that place unless you're in this car.
But pa, the bus just arrived to the edge of that neighborhood where the bus stop is there, then goes around it. What about I just one time?
Sorry, son, it's not going to happen. Too dangerous.
Alright pa.
Now you all have witnessed another reason. As you see, Alfredo is very protective about his son and wouldn't let him ride the bus like everyone else, for the fear of his son being near the bad neighborhood. Not even the very edge of it. Well, not without being inside the service vehicle, that is. But the fear of letting his son take the bus was unbeknownst to Alfredo, was closing into him. After a few days, Alfredo was called into his superior's office to have a little chat. Alfredo initially thought nothing of this, until his superior started to confront him about the wrongful use of his service vehicle from the last few weeks.
Mr. Alfredo, I heard about your use of the vehicle I was assigned you with. I didn't believe it at first since I know you as a very punctual and a disciplined driver. So tell me why have you been using the vehicle without permission from me or being in service?
Well, sir, I've been using the vehicle to drive my son to and from school in that time.
I see. But for what other means do you use the vehicle for? Also, do you not have your own car that you use for daily driving and such, Mr. Alfredo?
No, sir, for both of your questions. I don't use the car for anything else but driving my son to school, and no, I don't have my own car to use. I use the car because my son uses a route that goes through that one bad neighborhood. I feared for his safety. He's all I got left, sir.
I understand. Well, why didn't you ask permission from me to use the car for such means?
To be honest, sir, I was afraid that you would disagree and restrict me from using the service vehicle, in which I was concerned about my son, so I resorted to using the car without your permission, sir. Not even the school bus since it gets close to that neighborhood. I'm sorry for being like this, sir. I just don't want anything bad happen to my son.
You might not know, Mr. Alfredo. I'm a father as well. I have a daughter around the same age as your son. But I know that if I cage my daughter for so long, I will be more concerned at what she would do if I let her go to her adult life. She would rely on me more and would pick up the attitude and values I've shown to her.
I see. I see that you care about your daughter's safety too, Mr. Romald. But I don't see what's the right way of taking care of my son. My wife would have known much more about how to deal with situations like this.
My point, Mr. Alfredo, is that if you don't stop being overprotective of your son, he wouldn't be as self-sufficient as he can be, and would be used to being assisted by his dad throughout his life, or something worse. He would despise you for limiting his ability to do what he wished to do. Do you understand?
I understand now, Mr. Romald. Thank you for understanding and telling me this.
You're welcome, Mr. Alfredo. But that doesn't fully excuse you using the service vehicle without permission. Because at the end of the day, I'm still your superior, and violating the terms and rules will result in consequences. Your access to that vehicle will be limited from now, and will be fined 40,000 pesos due to the wrongful and misuse of a government vehicle. And next time, just ask me if you're going to use it again. Understood?
Yes, sir, I understand. Thank you again for consulting me about how to treat my son.
Well, that went well now, didn't it? Mr. Alfredo now knows that his overprotectiveness of his son can lead to a very troubling adulthood, and should change his ways of taking care of Alberto. Also, the fact that his overprotection got him in trouble and a lecture from his superior of all things further pushed the reason to change his ways of ethics. The only thing left is talking to his son about the news of how he will get to school from now on.
Pa, why isn't the car ready yet? I got school today. I'm going to be late.
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, kiddo. I'm not going to be using that car no more.
What? Then how do I get to school, pa?
Well, there is the train and the bus you've told me about before that all your friends take. Wouldn't that be nice, Alberto?
Really? Thanks, pa. Thanks a lot.
No problem, Alberto. Now go on to the bus stop. You might miss it.
Alright, see you later, pa. I'll be back around 4 o'clock. Bye.
See you later, kiddo.
So now Alfredo has accepted the change that he had to, not for his sake, but for the sake of his son Alberto. Let this be a lesson to everyone that your way of ethics isn't right, just because you think it's the right thing. There are other aspects to be considered for the way of ethics to be justified. A shallow way reasoning would often lead to a doubt and distaste on the person. With that, I recommend everyone to check themselves and see if your ethics are in the right. Thank you all for listening, and have a good day.